Do not do anything you see Bob doing. Bob has had special training to do the things that Bob does. Bob may have killed 3 people mastering his skill. If you damage or kill someone mimicking whatever Bob does, that's on you. If you're not under parental supervision that keeps you from doing things, that's on your parents. But do not do anything you see Bob doing. Bob has had special training, and people can die if you try to do what Bob does. As for me, all of my comments are parody. They're meant to entertain. And if you have to find a smidgen of truth in the things that I say, I'll be happy. In the meantime, we'd really appreciate it if you'd click on the subscribe button down at the bottom of the screen, and also put in your likes or dislikes and add any comments. We'd really like to respond to some comments, so feel free to click on that you're subscribing to our content. Even click on the button that gets you a notification so you'll know when we have new videos out. The goal is to have a pair of them each week, but sometimes we get a little bit behind. Anyway, please hit the subscribe button. Do not do anything you see Bob doing. We welcome you to these videos. My name is Silo. That's Bob. My name is Silo. And these are my words. So let's get started with this week's subject. Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back. It is currently about mid-December, a little bit late in December of 2020. And as your history books may have reported, 2020 was the year that it all began. And according to the news articles of the moment, Joe Biden is going to be sworn in as the new president in 2021. And already the Democrats are licking their lips, getting ready to find out what kind of prizes they're going to have in store for them. And I'm sitting back laughing at myself, because I know what has happened. You see, the Democrats are about to find a tub of fish. And they're going to fry them, they're going to fricassee them, they're going to consume all the fish they can. But the problem is, nobody taught the Democrats how to fish. And I have a story for you that's far, far from perfect, way back in time. And this involves a gentleman that I used to know, and we'll call him Mr. D. And Mr. D had this really, really evil thing that he would do. Mr. D had the ability to make money hand over fist. He could snap his fingers and gain funds. One time we went to a gas station and he bought a scratch-off game. And from the scratch-off game he won $10. And I said, wow, congratulations. He said, I'm not done yet. With that $10, he bought $5 more of scratch-offs, and he scratched off those, and one of those scratch-offs won him another $20, and another one of the scratch-offs that he bought with part of the money from his first winnings gave him 4 more scratch-offs for free. And I said, wow, that's incredible. And he said, I'm not done yet. He used the 4 free scratch-off things to pick 4 random scratch-offs. And he scratched off those 4 random scratch-offs, and he won himself another $25. From one ticket, he gained, I've lost count, $50, $55, depends on how you count them, but from one lone ticket, he made over $50. When he was in the zone, he could make money hand over fist. And he used to do the most evilest things to people. He would make friends with the local yokels in the West Virginia, northern West Virginia, southern Ohio area. And my friend was considered fairly wealthy for this region of the country. And he would make friends with one of the people in his city at random. And he would say, tell you what, I've got some money. Let me invest some of your money and make you some funds. And the person, he said, let me go, give me $10,000 of your money to invest, and I'll see what I can do with it. And the person would hand over his money, and he'd be going, please don't lose this, please don't lose this. It's the last $10,000 I have. He said, no way, don't wait. Within 2 years, my friend would turn that $10,000 into $200,000 of resources, of cash, assets, and available credit. 2 years, $10,000 to $200,000. And then he would have an argument with the person he had invested. And he would say, here's all your funds, here's all your money, here's everything that you have in your life. You do with it whatever you want. We're no longer friends. Well, the person who he had taken the money from had used their newfound wealth to move out of their log cabins into 2-story houses. Instead of one egg beater that they drove around in whenever it was warm, they now had 5 cars. They might have a pool in their backyard. The buck teeth of their children were being straightened out by dentures, by braces. Life was going fine. And then David would make an angry at him. Mr. D would make an angry at him. And he'd scoot everything they owned over to him and said, here, I'm no longer your friend. And then he'd just sit back and he'd watch. Because in all of those 2 years that David had been making him money, none of them had bothered to go to David and say, how have you been making this money for us? They just looked at the funds and available funds, and they danced. But they had no idea how it was built. They had no idea how it was maintained. And they had no idea how to make sure they didn't lose it all. Mortgages had to be paid. Car loans had to be paid. Dentists wanted funds for the braces. And within 6 months, the people that Mr. D would be helping would be in bankruptcy. And more often than not, they would be in a heck of a lot more worse shape than when they began. I saw him do this 3 times. Once was interesting. Twice was suspiciously unusual in that it occurred 2 times. But when you see someone do something 3 times in a row, they're doing it on purpose, ladies and gentlemen. They're doing it on purpose. And he was doing it on purpose. Donald Trump has set one of the greatest traps that will ever be seen for the Democrats. Because you see, Donald Trump has done a bunch of really, really great things for this country. And as such, there is now a tub of fish sitting outside of where Donald Trump goes fishing at. And the Democrats have come along and they have decided, tub of fish is mine. Donald, get yourself out of here. I have a tub of fish I'm going to do. The only thing is, nobody's ever taught them how to fish. All they know is how to take and consume. They lack makers. They have a lot of takers. And they have a huge number of fakers. But they don't know the basics of how Donald Trump put all this together. And so, if the courts finally rule that Donald Trump has lost, and if Joseph Biden does become our next president of the United States, Donald Trump is going to lean back and he's going to laugh. And if they try to touch him after he's gone, he'll just say, go ahead, make it worse on yourself. I don't care. This country is going to go down the pie hole. You did not watch me as I was doing what I was doing. You tried attacking me every time that I was making successful roads. You never, ever, ever followed how I was doing it and how I put it all together. And Donald Trump is going to laugh. Because the Democrats, they think that they've gotten rid of the evil orange man. And pretty soon, they'll be scrounging around in the garbage heaps looking for a meal. And it's pretty certain that they will still not understand that the road that led to these garbage dumps went to the local Democrat offices. And the funniest thing is, I figured this out all by myself because I am the smartest man in the world. What was that for?
Keep the ego in check.
All right. I can accept that. I can accept that. This time. What was the second one for?
Once is never enough.
Start just having one. Anyway, My name is Silo. These are my words. That's Bob. He's here to keep me under check. And Mr. Trump, I'm laughing with you. I'm not laughing at you. The Democrats are not going to know what hit them. And they won't take responsibility for their own mistakes. Such is life. My name is Silo, and these are my words.